Record for posterity's sake.
We'll give you the notes and or post the notes and site plan meeting.
Sounds good.
Safety first. Reminds us, today is headshot day for all the departments.
Ah,
It's not a special occasion.
I thought we were important.
Well,
So
you're important. You're not under that. All right, we'll start the meeting. Thanks for coming in to the site plan meeting. We're gonna go with the 598 South Lincoln Street duplex with Michael Harrison to go first with. We'll go around the table for introductions, starting with Andrew.
I'm Andrew. I'm the sexton over at the cemetery. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm just signing.
And then
Rex Moffett, Superintendent, wastewater, sewer, and storm.
Scott Murphy, Street and Sanitation Superintendent. Chase Clark, Building Official and Fire Marshal.
Princeton Water Superintendent.
Misty Myler. I do everything.
Wade Gardner, Facilities Manager. Travis Allen, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
Scott Snuffleton, Mayor. Graham Anderson, City Administrator.
All right, Michael, would you like to give us a concept of what you'd like to do? We all have packets with your
okay,
site plan that you provided for us.
great. So our customer, Mr. Bustamante, is interested in doing something with this piece of property they recently acquired. As you can see, this piece of property is challenged to be able to do anything on it at all, just with the shape, the unique piece. We'd like to propose of being able to put a duplex on this property. There's neighboring properties that are in similar, just to the west, there's the couple fourplexes that went in that also I think had similar challenges. In order to make this work, we need to be able to have a slight deviation on the back side to be able to meet the requirements because it's so close and the irregular shape of the property. So I think that if we did something similar to what this duplex is here going in, we should be able to fit it in within, what did I say, 12, 15 feet on the off the back? Yeah.
15 off the back, 12 on the side.
And we only need 5 on the sides, but just due to the irregularity of the shape and everything. So we can still provide a couple spaces of parking for each unit there. Concerns are getting the utilities in, of course, and there is a pole there, but we can work on that side of it. But that's kind of what Mr. Bustamante would like to do. And so we're here to see what provisions could be made for the city to make it work. So
We'll start going around the table. I'm sure.
I have no objection.
if there's any dead bodies, we will let you know.
He did say he doesn't get a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Rex Moffett.
Stormwater has to be retained on site.
Mm-hmm.
There is no sewer in front. The nearest sewer is to the east, just where the Lincoln right-of-way comes out of the park.
Okay. So we'd have
That
to,
one unfortunately is only about 5 feet deep. There's also a sewer to the alleyway to the west. That one I did not get a depth on, but it's like 6, 7 feet. If I remember correctly. If you go to the one to the east, you'll probably have to put in some sort of ejector pump.
to lift it.
Misty, can you turn on the layer for sewer?
So,
Can you zoom in?
So you're saying the connection on where the Lincoln Street shadow goes on through, that's the closest one, but that's only at 5 feet, so we'd have to lift to that one.
Yeah.
That's the one on the right. And then there is one to the west, you said as well?
Yes, yes. It goes
Is that
down
that
the
green
alley.
line?
Yeah.
Okay.
green line.
That's the nearest one there? Okay. Oh, okay, I'm seeing them now. But you don't know the depth on that one. So we would be responsible, or the city would extend, or what's the?
You'd be responsible for extending.
Okay.
And does that typically take place in the road area or?
It has to be in this. It has to be in the city right away or in an easement, written easement from a property owner.
So is that a right of way there on the west side, or what is that area between the fourplex?
Between the fourplex and that residence, yeah, that's right.
And the one over here, there's probably on Lincoln Street to the right is not on a right of way?
I don't know.
It's not right of way, but the sewer was there before the park was, so.
I didn't even know there was a park there, so.
It's further.
Oh, that, okay. I was like, I didn't.
The road used to go through, but it was abandoned.
Pardon?
So the road used to go through, but it was.
Yeah.
Go through the
abandoned.
park.
You can still see the pavement.
It was abandoned to single cars.
Okay. So those are our two options, and we'll just have to get with you, I guess, and figure out how deep that one is over there and figure out which one makes the most sense for the
It's
ejector.
between 6 and 7 feet,
Okay.
but I can get an exact.
But either way, if it's only 6 or 7 with that distance, we might
Have to deal with it no matter what.
I would say yes.
Okay. All right.
For sanitation has capacity to supply services to the property. It's gonna be, just the residential containers, the 95-gallon, trash cans. For streets, see how the fourplexes did like a valley gutter to retain the water there?
Yeah.
We're required to do something like that to improve the edge of the roadway.
So we need a curb gutter,
Yeah,
basically.
curb and gutter.
That'd be a ribbon gutter right there, kind of like the driveway.
Because
There's
there's
a fourplex.
yeah, it would be more, it wouldn't be an actual high back curb and gutter. It would be like a ribbon curb there because of the short frontage of the property that you guys have. But it would need to improve the frontage of the property so it retains the rigidity of the asphalt. So
Right.
driving on it doesn't blow out the edge of the asphalt.
So Scott, you're basically saying that one of those low gutters that you can drive over, basically, is what we're saying.
And
We don't have Idaho Power here, but there is
Yeah,
a
there's
light,
right.
a lamp post right there in the middle of the light.
Yes.
so, yeah, you would have to move that so you would be able to drive there.
Correct.
And that would be at your expense.
Those are very cheap to move, you know.
But other than that, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
For fire, you have access to a hydrant in the vicinity.
Where is the nearest hydrant, do you remember?
It's just down the road up to the left.
Something that's alley intersection.
Is it right
Over
by
by
the
where the
utility?
sewer comes through?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're not too far away. Access is gonna be fine. Your drive doesn't exceed 150 feet, so you don't have to turn around. It is a little tight on the front.
Yeah.
You say you have 38 feet?
That's what the estimate is without an official survey, yeah.
Okay. So we'll just want to double check the measurements to make sure that if we have to pull it in, we can. We need to be able to get a fire truck at least to a point where we can drag a hose to 150 feet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's not too bad because at your longest, your estimate on this one's only 140
15,
feet.
yeah.
So it shouldn't be too hard for us.
Almost from the road.
So access is not gonna be fine. Hydrants are fine. For building, this falls under the residential code, so you don't have to worry about commercial. I would like to see some verification on setbacks. I don't have a good, you got like room sizes and stuff, but we wanna make sure that we have an actual dimension of the whole building.
Yep.
And again, it appears like we have enough room, but until we get an official, document that says,
Sure.
yes, this is what it is.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, again, this is something very similar to what he wants to build. But this is just explore, make sure that we can still do it and then invest the money in making sure that we have the right plan in place, so.
You said.
Oh, good work. Well, go ahead, Chris.
All right, so that old blockhouse there has an existing water service. It was just 1 inch, it was redone when they built those fourplexes, they rerouted it. So that's all pretty much new. For duplex, you should be fine with 1 inch service.
Do you know, sorry, back on that, do you know if there was actually sewer to it already, or is it on a septic, or we have no idea?
I have no
City,
records.
city has no records, so it could be tied in, we don't know.
Probably septic.
Probably on the front, maybe it's over dumping into the railroad yard.
You may be able to check with the Southeastern Idaho.
Yeah. Yeah, I can check with them. Okay.
And that might be a requirement to
Yeah, we have that.
remove, we kind of have to go with whatever they say there, whether they allow you to sand it in or to have to have it completely removed.
Okay. I think it's been vacant for long enough but we'll definitely verify with them. So once it reaches a certain point, they don't seem to care. But we'll get a permit to demolish it if we do. Sorry, Princeton. So you think 1 inch would handle it fine?
Yeah, they want to come all through town to have a 1 inch service on it.
Okay.
Duplex.
You're okay with meter location on there?
Yeah, they always have to recant, right? It's supposed to be right on the property line. Been a while since I put eyes on it. None of it is completed, so.
Yeah, you could put it on either side as long as we stay the required distance off the line and.
Yeah, so it's already on the property line between the new fourplexes
Oh, okay, so
and that, so it's.
it'll be out of the driving area then.
That's somewhat right.
Okay.
And it has to be in green space area, correct? It can't be in any kind of paved or.
Can't be a driveway either.
Just have to curb around it.
Then as for landscaping, xeriscaping, the watering restrictions currently in place, watering all that would be on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, long term.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I'm good. You're good. You talked about asking for a variance, kind of like you assumed that the fourplexes next door got a variance. The fourplexes, they applied for a building permit back in 2001 to build them.
A while ago.
And the ordinance was changed, and that was in January of 2001. The ordinance was changed from the R3 schedule to the HDR 1 and 2 schedule we have now.
Okay.
In July of 2021. And then we also updated our schedule for residential dimensions in 2023. So at the time that they were built, they were in compliance.
Okay.
If they were to try that now, they would be very close to the lot size requirement, but that was all sole ownership, so it didn't matter building over property lines or anything like that. And it remains all sole ownership. It isn't platted out for individual unit sale. So they all run off 1 meter and we can build them that way.
Okay.
If they were available to sell individually, we'd require separate connections.
Okay.
So I'm assuming this is gonna be under sole ownership.
Sole ownership.
When it comes out. So applying for a variance for this, you'd have to have a variance for lot size because our current dimensional standard is about a half acre, 21,000 for HDR1, and this is the HDR1 zone. So you'd have to have a variance for lot size. The minimum lot frontage is 60 feet, and you only have 38, so that would be a variance you'd have to ask for as well. And then the rear setback is 20 foot, and you only have 15 on here, not unless we can organize some things about this. The parking requirement currently is 2.5 spaces per unit.
2.5.
Or 2.5, so you need 5 parking spaces. The side triangle for driveways and alleys is 15 feet. And if you did, say, a 12-foot wide driveway going in, you only have 38 in there, you probably steal a little of that 15 feet next door because they have set that driveway back a little bit there. But the neighbor to the east, that's right where his driveway is too, so you'd want to give him a little space to get in and out of there, so, and you got them trees lined up through there, so.
Trees are gonna have to go.
So you're gonna have to be able to see, and I don't know if I know some of them trees are on your lot, and then some are on his.
Mhm.
So you'd have to see about that side triangle, or see how he feels about that, and just go from there. If that's where you wanted to put this, you didn't put in your site plan the height of your, you know how tall that is?
I don't.
Okay. The standard setback on the side is 5, but we also can do 6 inches per every foot in height. So if you're already over 10 feet in height, then you're gonna be more than 5 feet for a
Okay.
setback. I assumed if that was 24 foot tall, like another similar plan I've seen like this, you're gonna look at a 12-foot setback anyways, the one that you draw in there.
Okay.
If you can move that unit, you didn't give us exact dimensions of the outside of the house. I just kind of took your dimensions of your living room and your kitchen and put them side by side. And I got an estimate of a little over 21 feet by 36 feet. And I put that on my tool that I used. And it looks like if you would, this is showing a 20-foot wide. If you went down to a 12, you'd probably be able to push this up a little bit and maybe put the parking back here in the rear.
Okay.
If you presented a concept like that, where you have an exemption to be able to take the front setback and reduce that if the parking's available in the rear.
Okay.
But you still gotta figure out how to get 5 parking spots and away from all turnaround.
Right.
there.
Right.
If you do individual totes for garbages, you wouldn't require a dumpster pad.
No, it would be individual, because I don't want to drive on the property.
Okay.
You'd bring it out to the frontage of the road.
Yeah, so you kind of need a little bit of that frontage up there, put your garbage tote between you and the neighbor as well.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of a lot to ask in a variance for lot size, minimum lot frontage. Rear setback, if you come up with a better concept, I think we wouldn't need a variance for that. But I need to see what that looks like, or we might just have to apply for it altogether.
Okay.
Depending on how you figure that out. I think that's everything that I've had for this project. Yeah. Aaron, you have any more comments?
Because that property in the rear is fronts against the railroad, I really don't care that we have a big setback. I don't, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Mhm.
We don't have the issues that we have in other residential neighborhoods and stuff. So I'm just thinking that that's something that we could easily
There's
just
not
say.
another structure back there.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting there going, why do we care? We can't, we'll never be building back there. We'll never have another residence back there. So I think that's not a problem. I'm not really too concerned with the trees is an issue up front. But again, the way that property was drawn in and it was accepted by the city years ago, I don't think we have to worry about a lot of some of that stuff. The site triangle is on the outside of the curve. If we cut the trees back a little bit and give it, I'm not worried about a full site triangle based on where that property's located. It's not like it's on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah.
And then, the 4, I know we've talked about 2.5. And that, it'd be nice to get those in there, because I think you're gonna have a problem trying to, get more than a number of cars in there. That'll be the biggest issue, because you're not gonna have street parking at all. But if you can find a spot, if it's to the side there, is that gonna bother? We're not gonna count it towards green space or anything like that. Do we have these issues on?
Yeah, well, we'd have to look at their concept to have these elements in it, and then look at the green space requirement from there, which is 40% of the law. So by the time you take out,
So does the greenscape and the xeriscape come into the same category?
if you
Can
go
we
with
combine them?
xeriscape with an X,
Yeah,
yes.
xeriscape, sorry.
Yeah, if you go with an X, then that could be your landscape as well. Xeriscape with a Z, that's too
Right.
lit. It's not enough green, I guess, you might say. But we kind of have to take in the footprint of the building and how wide your driveway is going to be within parking spots. It's going to take up some green space as well.
But the driveway is not considered green space.
It can fall into the requirement for impervious surfaces.
Yeah, more than likely to get the drainage and everything, we'd have to gravel it and put drainage tile and stuff to a basin and stuff like that to make it work, but.
Yeah, I think you've got some, that goes back to our conversation earlier about green space and what do you count, how much, and this lot is such a weird size and because of the parking, what's more important, parking or green space? Talk to me.
That's right. Well, if we apply for a variance just on lot size alone, that can all be heard in a meeting,
Okay,
in a P and Z meeting, all under the same application.
Yeah.
So your concept would come out and would say, these are the issues, like, we don't have enough frontage, but this is how we kind of want to mitigate that. And if we have too much impervious surfaces, I mean, you're already looking at lot size and frontage already for that variance. And if we need that other, or if we can say, yeah, we get real close to this requirement and it's accepted overall, that would be, then we can hear them in a hearing and notices would go out
Right.
at all the surrounding or adjacent for a variance. So it would only go to adjacent properties for a variance. And then and it doesn't go to city council either, it just goes to P and Z.
Right.
But we would have a hearing, it would be heard, it would be posted on our social media and in the paper as well. So if any other aggrieved parties with it
Sure.
would be able to comment, it would take testimony in favor, neutral, and opposing. If they had any factual basis on why we should reject this, then we'd have to deny it. But that's kind of the fight you're up against in this. If you want to continue that, then yeah, we can file it. The deadline for the June 23rd hearing is May 26th to file that and pay them fees. So we have time to get it in the paper and notices mailed out. Any other comment here?
if you take it into B and Z and they do deny it, that is a final decision, so it can be appealed to the city council. So it's not your only remedy. We don't want to go that far, that just takes extra time. But I think, get your concept finalized is what you're doing first, and then we can take a look at it and stuff. Because we have a lot of conflicting ordinances to try to get around with the size of this lot, and I think
Yep.
that's the,
Regardless of whether you build a house or you build anything on it, we're gonna have a struggle to build something on it.
right, and that's why I say, this was not the owner's problem, this was done well before that, when they first put this in there. So we're gonna have to do some, at least in my opinion,
Yeah, if we
we're
can
gonna
make,
have to get some leeways.
I think if we can propose a solution that meets the criteria in general and a mixed bag, I think that we have a shot of something. It's just a challenge there's a lot of issues on this piece of property coming
Yeah,
together.
Right.
And then we get also to have people to have their comments recorded and considered.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way with just a duplex to fill this old house in that's fallen down. I wouldn't live in it.
Yeah, I don't even want to go in it.
I've been in it, it's not pretty. It'll be a service to the city of Blackburn.
Yeah, so, and then update the sewer system and the
Think
water
about how-
connection.
Have the fire marshal do a control burn.
So, yeah, the city wants to work with you, and we'll do what we have to, we'll jump through the hoops, but we do want to work with you.
Mr. Grant?
If it looks like this, I think that's a very attractive duplex. So if you can get something like that in there, I mean, that's a great that'll be a great thing for the city, so. Like Mayor said, I think whatever we can do to kind of help you get through these obstacles and get something developed down there is way better than what's there now, so we want to see it happen, so.
Thank you.
Any questions for us?
No, just appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you. Like you said earlier, we'll have the minutes once Misty gets them transcripted. They'll be on this application for the site plan meeting to be able to refer to later. If you want to send an updated site plan to me to discuss this a little further.
Okay.
I'm in my office usually Monday through Friday, every other Friday out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a-
Yep, appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy the day. Better than yesterday.
Next on our agenda is Jeff Wood, the 460 York Drive. Sit up here, Jeff. For the greenhouse on the high school property. Do we need to go through introductions to Jeff? I know you came in late.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I'm Andrew from the cemetery.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think we'll need you. Sorry.
Oh, no, we're looking for dead bodies.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I hope not.
Jimmy Hoffman.
Yeah, I don't want to find anything like that.
Scott Murphy, Street and Sanitation Superintendent.
Chase Clark, Fire Marshal, Building Official.
This is the water superintendent.
Misty Myler, I do everything.
Green Garden Facilities. Travis Allen, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
Okay.
Scott Stuff will be mayor. I thought I did everything, but I don't.
Oh.
I'm Grant Anderson, I'm the city administrator.
Okay. Jeff Wood, Idaho Interiors.
In your concept plan, you provided a site plan of where the greenhouse is gonna go behind the old Stoddard Elementary.
Correct.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
I don't think so. We've moved it several times, fitting it into that space with the school district and Hal, Silsley. Just kind of moved it back and forth, trying to fit it in with water lines and everything else.
All right. I don't think there's a plot there, is there, Andrew?
Not that I know of.
Okay, go ahead, Rex.
Your site plan didn't have dimensions of your building, so I guesstimated with some measurements here and there. It appears the southwest corner of the building would be approximately 32 feet from the sewer main. Should be fine.
Okay.
It's already all contained on the school property, so I have nothing else.
I have nothing for streets and sanitation.
So we've spoken in depth about the requirements for building and fire.
Mhm.
And I think you've covered most of those with the plans you've already submitted. One reiteration is just to make sure we did discuss a good ADA pathway, which I think we should be able to accomplish.
Right.
It's not clear on the plan, so I just want.
Right. A lot of that's coming through the school because I'm not contracted for that part of it at this time. But I've talked with Hal, and basically I think we're gonna just get it changed in, and it's coming right out of the main doors in the middle.
So you're just doing the greenhouse, you're not doing any site work?
We'll probably end up doing that access because I don't know why we wouldn't. He's not gonna get a CO without it. So.
Right.
It's just, I don't know why he just didn't, in a hurry, probably more than anything. I don't know why they didn't include that access right there. But that's the only thing that I think is, we're grading it away and just a rough, no landscaping, no nothing back in. The school district was gonna handle that.
Okay. Everything else, your access is good, fire, you have a hydrant just over in front of the old elementary.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, I think there's 2 of them.
That shows one more.
Yeah.
The plastic building catches on fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone probably.
Okay, that's all I got.
Did they get the gas line moved then?
They're in the middle of that. The school district is handling that part of it. So I'm in the loop, but they're paying for it. They're handling the gas line with Intermountain Gas.
Okay.
So that's all been through
I
them.
know that's what they were needing to get it to move forward.
Yeah, they're
Away
gonna
from
they're
the
gonna
water.
come all the way around the building and hook back up is what they're gonna do.
Yeah, based on this drawing, everything's, we've got all the right clearances for the water now, and then I talked to Dax.
Yeah, that's my son. He's the superintendent
Okay,
out there on the project.
Bringing the existing culinary service for Frost Free or whatever.
Mhm.
Items,
Right.
no new connections. Okay, yeah, that's all I do.
I don't have anything for this project, but just so you know, Jeff was involved with me on the animal shelter. He's done a few things for the city as well. And we are starting we're in design stages for the new water shop. So
Okay.
we'll be talking.
All right.
to that.
Yeah, take a look.
Anyway, not part of this, but
Yeah.
I'd share that with
Kiss and shake babies.
you. Yeah. That's it.
As far as P and Z is concerned, it's still part of the school district. It's part of their education area. They used to have greenhouses that they tore down, and they're just replacing them essentially just in a different spot.
Sure.
So there's not any planning and zoning regulations, I think, that I can apply to this,
Okay.
other than commercial building.
Okay.
I had a question, just, I know there's a ditch that runs behind that school, all the way behind the high school. Do you know where that ditch is?
Yeah, they just replaced the line and it will be under it. They just replaced the line, last year,
What will be under it?
the ditch. The culvert,
Will be underneath your.
correct. Mhm.
Okay, just.
They're aware of it. I mean, and I brought it up to them just the same as you just brought it up. I told Hal the same thing. He goes, yeah, you know. It's like, okay.
Okay, well, when it breaks,
I understand exactly what you're saying. They replaced it, it's brand new as of last year, the culvert that goes under there. They put that in, I guess, preparation for this. I don't know. That's their,
Do you know how deep that is?
what did they tell me? Not exactly, no.
That might be a good idea to share that with the foundation engineer.
Yeah, I believe, well, yeah, I'll talk to
Yeah,
them.
we'll want to see that on the documents.
Okay.
Design for that.
Okay, yep.
Mayor, so that ditch is Little Butte, right? And the mayor's on the board for Little Butte, so he's extra concerned about
Mhm.
that, not having any issues with it.
Right,
It's quite a few water users
yeah.
in cities.
Yeah, like I said, I brought the same thing up to them and they're like, yeah, we know, that's why we replaced it. Okay.
So they replaced the whole line?
They replaced it, basically from where the playground used to be out to the asphalt of the parking lot, right in that section.
So it wasn't from York Drive?
I don't believe so. I mean, I could get you that. I wasn't involved with that, so I don't really know.
Yeah, 'cause I don't remember that happening.
But it was, Black Diamond did it. And he just did it for this. I don't know. I have no idea about that because I wasn't there. They just, when I was there, that's what they told me.
Well, the water box is out there on York and it splits and.
Right, and how far they went that way, I don't know.
And one goes down York across Fisher and the other one goes from the box and goes right behind the schools
Correct.
all the way out to Walker Street.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just know the one that, I guess, and it runs clear through all the parking lots and everything there. I mean, if they have problems, they got a lot of things that they're gonna have to rip up asphalt. It probably goes under some of those other buildings. They got more than this is the problem, if there's a problem with that
As long
ditch.
as they know they're.
They do know. And I told them, I go, this is something, if there's a problem, you might have to, I mean, for the most part, they're digging through gravel versus there's, where it does come under, they have a pathway, an 8-foot concrete pathway that they'll deal with. But for each side of it, it's just gravel that they'd be, if they had a problem. Yeah, it wouldn't be the easiest thing in the world, that's obvious. But it is a greenhouse versus a house or something. But they are aware of it, yes.
Folks always seem to forget that if you cover the ditch, it's not the ditch company's responsibility.
No, it's
to fix.
that it's
The people that
it'll be the
cover
school
that.
district's
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah,
Yep,
and like I
you're
said,
right.
if they're aware of it, that's fine, but people always seem to forget that.
No, I had the same discussion with Al, and then I go, just so you know, once you put this on it, if you,
It's your baby.
yeah, and that's why he goes, that's why we, put the brand new pipe in underneath it in preparation for the longevity of it, I guess is the theory of why they did that.
They're cool with it.
Yeah, no, like I said, it definitely is something that came up.
We've done our part to. flag
Yeah, and I
it
feel I did the
aware,
same thing.
so.
I told and he's like, yeah, we know. Okay.
Okay. Is there any more questions for us?
I don't think so. We're just trying to, I guess my only question, when do I get a permit? No. I don't have any.
Foundation engineer's gotta get on that.
Okay.
drawing.
I'll look at that and see if he took it into account or where that is, like the depth of
That'd
it.
be critical.
So I guess if it's underneath it, we're fine.
It's underneath the structure.
No, if it's underneath the foundation and we still,
Well, the load still transfers
Okay.
to the soil.
okay.
So, yeah, when you build over a culvert,
Okay, so for the most part, it'll be about a foot on top is what they're gonna want.
I mean.
Usually, that's pretty standard, but yeah.
Right.
So,
Notes from this meeting will be available on your site plan application on the
Okay.
portal as soon as.
So
Misty gets
we'll
a
get
chance to-
Teton Engineering to address the,
Yeah, that you can pull it up and send that to them. And then they can contact our building official if they have any questions as well.
okay,
We'll still do the plan review and stuff like that as well.
okay, yeah, I'll get it to him and just, I don't remember if he addressed it on there or not. I don't know if he knew that it was there or not.
All right, well, if there's not any more questions,
I don't think
Let
so.
you go.
It sounds like that's the only thing we have at this point is the, am I correct with that, I guess? Okay, yeah, so I'll get with Teton Engineering and they'll figure it out.
all right. Well, we have another meeting after this. We'll let you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.